only pitch day is in English, and every startup is speaking English, so we'll proceed in English. So yeah, it's a nice day. Yesterday was the 14th of February. I hope that everyone had fun, and today you feel not so bad, despite of the previous evening. And yeah, so let's start the pitch day, the second one. We're doing it with Zubr Capital. It's the Belarusian popular fund, and I'm the representative of UHub. Who doesn't know about UHub? Please raise your hands. Doesn't know. Okay, everyone knows, so I don't need to tell anything about this community. And now Nikita will tell a bit more about Zubr Capital, and will tell a few interesting facts about fundraising.
Yeah, colleagues, nice to meet you all here today. Basically, I want to start. Next slide, please. Yeah, basically, I want to start a little bit about Zubr Capital and about our current status. Basically, right now we have more than 200 million under management. We have 3 funds, more than 20 portfolio companies. We have offices in Cyprus, Lithuania, and here in Warsaw. Our key focus is B2B. Also, we like software as a service companies, e-commerce, mobile apps, game apps, and also we are eager to invest in companies starting from Series A. We invest from $5 million in each case, and also here I want to tell you a couple of words about our key companies in which we invested, pretty international companies. Our last case in which we invested a couple of months ago is Aura. Aura is a Ukrainian United States startup which develops e-commerce platform, software for e-commerce. Also, we had in our portfolio Target Process. We exited from Target Process in 2021, and it was pretty successful case for us and for founders. Our 2 big cases right now are MediaCube and Palta. MediaCube is a pretty big partner of YouTube in Europe, and Palta is a pre-unicorn company which develops a lot of apps, especially non-gaming apps. Also, from our international experience, Effective Soft is a middle-sized software development company which right now has a pretty big office here in Warsaw, and also try to build offices in Latin America and in United States. Shortly about us, and today I want to tell you a little bit more about the fundraising process, because for all of you it's a pretty significant process right now, as I understand, because you are here, you want to try to fundraise or just to test your ideas, and I want to tell you from 2 perspectives what does fundraising process is. As I mentioned, I want you to understand this process from 2 perspectives. The first perspective is your perspective. You see this perspective as pitch deck preparation, data room preparation. After that, usually you have long list and short list of your investors. After that, you will have term sheet and due diligence and signing. But from the investor side, this process looks not the same. Basically, as an investor, we usually start from first introduction or even from analysis of long list of potential companies with which we want to talk. After that, we analyze information from your side, and after that, we have our internal discussion with our investment committee, and it's this investment committee usually a crucial part for our decision-making process. After that, we also have term sheet and negotiations with you and due diligence process, and after all of this, we have our final decision in our investment committee meeting. Dasha? Yeah, and couple of key words or couple of key sentences which you need to ask yourself during your stages. The first one, strategy understanding, and pitch deck and data room understanding. Basically, you need to understand what do you want to achieve, what do you want to show your potential investor, which investor do you need, which metrics will be good for you. Here I have a case, for example, target process case. Basically, we invested in this company with European Bank for Reconstruction and Development Venture Fund, and basically these guys from target process, before this fundraising process, they had strategic session, and they didn't have any investments before, and they decided that they want to triple their revenue in 3 years, and due to this, they decided to attract investors. And I recommend all of you to do some strategic sessions and or some internal discussions just to understand why do you need your investor and what investor do you need. Dasha? Yeah, the second case is effective soft. In this case, I want to talk a little bit more about long list and short list of potential investors, because investors could be very different in terms of understanding your area, in terms of targets, in terms of strategy and so on. And I recommend all of you to build good relationship with your potential investors, but also you need to, you also could use different tools to connect with your investor. For example, Effective Soft connected with us because they hired investment bank, which helped them to negotiate with us and to connect with us. But also you could use different approaches. For example, interest, warm interest work much better than cold emails, but also you could use both. Also, you need to understand, do you need global investor starting from day one, or you could use, for example, regional funds or even local fund from Poland. And also here we see this phrase, perfect is the enemy of good. Basically, I recommend you not to try from day one to attract Andreessen Horowitz as your investor. I recommend you just to attract investor, and step by step you will be better in terms of names in your cap table. Regarding the term sheet. Term sheet is a crucial point for you and for us, and here I want to show you two different perspectives. Basically, as a potential portfolio company, I understand that you want to have the best price, and you want to have the best reserve matters and so on. But in any case, you need to understand that in each deal, investor want to have pretty good return. And for you, you also need to understand this perspective, and you also need to show for your investor his potential return, not your own potential money and your own potential growth, but also how any investor could have his money in this deal. Also, I recommend you to hire a good legal advisor, because legal advisor could help you to structure any deal. And also, I recommend you to read your term sheet with your legal advisor, because he could tell you more about each point, and also he could help you to understand this term sheet. As investors, we consider a term sheet as not as a final document, but as a very crucial document, because we don't want to waste time on companies without if we sign the term sheet. For us, term sheet is a good sign that we want to do this deal. And also you need to understand that investor could have potential, could have another points, not in terms of only price, but also in terms of deal structure, board member, and so on. You also need to discuss this points with investor, and investor also in any case will try to discuss these points with you. Also, regarding the due diligence. All of you, I don't know if you know a lot about due diligence, but due diligence usually is a process after the signing of the term sheet, during which you try to confirm your data, or you try to talk more with your investor regarding your potential, regarding your numbers, regarding your legal structure, and so on. And here you need, before signing the term sheet, you need to understand approach of your potential investor to this due diligence, because there are a lot of different types of investors, but usually you could meet two types. The first type is spray and pray strategy. Usually these investors could not do really deep due diligence, only 2 or 3 weeks of due diligence. And the second type is hands-on investor with really tough due diligence process from 8 to 12 weeks, so 2-3 months is the due diligence process. So you need to talk with your potential investor regarding the due diligence process, and it will help you to understand your timeline in terms of money attraction. Yeah, and also different perspective. You need to understand that investor usually investor doesn't want to do something with your valuation during this process. Investor usually wants to check your data, and also you need to understand the difference. As I said, different investors could ask about different processes, and also different amount of money would lead to the different due diligence process. For example, we had in our portfolio deals with only 1 million investment side, and we spent just a couple of weeks on the due diligence. And for example, with deals with 10 million deals, we could spend 2 or 3 months on this due diligence. Yeah, that's it. Regarding the fundraising process, if you have
Ребята, к сожалению, ничего не видно на экране, потому что он как-то светится очень странно. Хитро. Вероника.
Thank you, Nikita, for your presentation. So it's time to announce our coolest moderator, Kirill Voloshin. Everyone look at his watches and tell you to stop. You have 5 minutes to pitch. Yeah, it's
You can continue.
yeah, you have startups. You have 5 minutes to pitch. Then you have 10 minutes for questions. Probably we'll do it much faster, but still, we don't want you to hurry up while you're doing this. So the first picture startup is Govar. Give me 2 minutes. I will prepare the presentation. Now you can check all the settings and yeah.
Ребята, на следующий раз мы обязательно с камерами подготовимся лучше.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So I'm your moderator today, and I can bring some coffee, water, and something you need. So we have nice jury today. It's 4 nice men. First one, you saw him a minute ago, Nikita Krivilevich from Zubr Capital. Vitaly Laptenek from Flyer One Ventures. Vitaly, show yourself. I believe you can grab him using his no buttons, but I wanted to say that you can grab his button and speak to him during the pause we will have between 4 startups pitched, and then we have another batch for pitching. So we also have Alexey Yermolenko from Flyer One also. And we have Mariusz, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, beforehand, Gonchevsky, I'm sorry.
Yeah, not easy.
He is mobile gaming lead in Google Poland. So the first startup we will have is Govar, and please nepewkey.com, please get prepared. So you've got 5 minutes, and we have something like jingle bells, I don't know. that will indicate that your time is over, and we will have 10 minutes for questions. So the first questions will come to jury, and then we can grab questions from the audience. So please, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Do you hear me in microphone?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, great. So my name is Dennis. I'm the founder of Govar. This is application for practice English. Now I will tell you about the problem we solve. Something happened with clicker. Yeah. So there are more than 1.3 billion people around the world are learning English as a second language. But next slide, please. But less than 10% of them can actually speak. Why it happens? Next slide. Because it's rather hard to find interlocutors outside the English-speaking environment, and it's impossible to start speaking with no speaking. That's why we created our application Govar. Next slide.
Here,
When I push buttons, nothing happens. What happens is okay. So that's why we created our application Govar. This is online English-speaking club. Next slide, please. How does Govar work? User opens the application and see list of events. He chooses event. We have events every day and 2 events with native speakers per month. Next slide, please. Then he chooses his English level, and in future he will choose the topic. Next slide. And he gets into a video call for 3 to 6 persons who also learn English and who have the same English level. He speaks with them with no tutors, with no teachers. He have real practice, and in future we are planning to implement feature with AI feedback about your speech. Next slide, please. In future we are planning to add other languages. And next slide. And we have a lot of cases and success stories. Here you can see 3 success stories of users who found new job with help of our application. Next slide. Our progress in numbers. We have more than 4,000 registered users. Next slide. More than 500 monthly active users. In this case, we count only users who visit especially meetings. Not just open the app, who visit our meetings, spend there in average 1 hour and 20 minutes per one time, and visit 5 meetings per month. Next slide, please. Conversion rate to paid customer is from 0.6 to 1.4%. Next slide. We made test advertisement campaigns in Facebook and found that in average our user costs us 18 cents, but in different regions we have different numbers. Now we are working on Google advertisement campaigns, and from all the sources we know, cost of user will be 3 times less. Next time, please. Next slide. And cost of user doesn't include our organic growth. Organic growth is 43% per month for last 4 months. Next slide. Our team consists of 8 members, and we can solve all the tasks and problems we have, and we could have. Next slide. We counted our market, and total addressable market is 2 billion. Next. Business model consists of premium accounts that give additional features, B2B business model with schools and educational centers of language, and in-app advertisement. Next slide. We know our competitors, their strong and weak sides, and we know how to take their audience. This slide is based on information that our users gave us. Next slide. Go-to-market strategy includes advertisement in different sources, B2B cooperation and business model, and organic growth. Next slide. We are looking for $200,000 investments, 130 for marketing, 50,000 for development, and 20,000 for other reasons. Next slide. And our main mission is to help people communicate. When people communicate to each other, they don't have conflicts. Next slide. Thank you for your attention. I will be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the jury?
So actually, it's quite interesting because you are like want to raise 200,000, and as I see, like the majority of that would go to advertising. Yes. So,
Yes, that's true.
and so like provided that you have the model that works already, why you are not going rather to the credit line or similar kind of financing solutions?
Interesting question, but I think that it's much longer process, and our business model now consists of only 4,000 users. It's rather small numbers, and we should, if we have more money, we can make these numbers more exact, and also we can faster do changes in our product. Because, for example, now we have some features that users use. We implemented some buttons. When they push it, they see it will come soon. And we have some features that half of active users want to use but can't for today.
And follow-up question, because actually I work with mobile apps as well, so that's actually I'm asking, provided are you analyzing right now your return on ad spend already? Okay, if you spend like $1 today, when you will have the payback?
Yeah. Next slide is unit economics, and we counted.
Good.
We counted that from the third month we should start earning money, but it's only with today's numbers. We have some features that should increase conversion, and in this case it could happen even earlier.
Okay, there is like one danger probably that I see is that if you have specific like acquisition cost, that cost is provided you spend like $500, for example, like per week or something. Like if you increase the budget like 20 times, your CPI or the cost of acquisition will go up as well. Yeah, did you do this analysis already?
Yeah, I understand it, but we made small advertisement campaign. We didn't work hard on creatives, and I'm sure that we can make smaller cost even if we use Facebook advertisement, but Google advertisement in applications, as I know, usually 3 times cheaper than Facebook. And at the same time, this cost of user doesn't include organic growth that was a little more. Maybe more questions?
More questions from jury?
Yeah, I can ask for costs. It means that 70% of revenue is your cost for making lessons. Yeah.
We counted commissions and some more things. Before we found 2 weeks ago that Google Play and App Store have programs for small business that decrease this number. It means that this number will be more. So we will earn more than 70%.
Okay, but that's from subscription, yes?
Yeah.
And how much do you pay for teachers?
We don't have teachers.
Okay.
In our case, users speak with users, and we are planning to implement AI that will give feedback on things that you said. We already work on it.
Could you please tell a little bit more about stickiness of your product in terms of number of number of classes or retention rate?
Yeah, good question. We released our MVP based on Telegram bot on April, and approximately 20% of users who came in April still with us. Application was released in September, in the beginning of September, and users who installed first are still with us. So we can't say how long does customer live, but we think that customer lives more than free user because he is more motivated.
As far as I understand, it's kind of speaking club, online speaking club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually online work replicates what happened, what already happened in offline. So do you know any other offline speaking clubs that are successful in terms of money monetization, successful commercial?
I'm from Minsk, and in our case, we have some speaking clubs that don't have big attendance, and they mostly work for free. But we checked just in our situation, because we have rather long history, we worked every day since April. And during this period, everything is normal, and many schools use speaking clubs as good enter to their system. So cheaper variant. And even big schools like Sky-M still use it. But our users say that these speaking clubs made by schools are not very good idea, because they don't enjoy it, and they can speak 5 minutes from an hour. In our case, we try to do rooms with 4 persons, so you speak 15 minutes from each hour. And you can speak not only 1 hour like at schools, but even 3 hours. Average duration for last 2 months is more than 3 hours. So if you enter at 7:30, you will be there since 22:30 approximately.
Okay, thank you, jury. Do we have questions here? Audience? Okay then.
As a fellow creator of social apps, I have a question. How do you deal with moderation? Especially at scale, such apps can flood with toxic content, toxic users pretty quickly. And yeah.
Yeah, we needed moderation online, but we are planning to implement button report, and when it happens, someone will fix this thing. We have 2 kinds of moderation. First kind is manual by people, and second kind is someone who have record will be kicked, and then we will think what happened.
More questions from the audience? Okay then, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the next picture is napilki.com. Okay, you've got 5 minutes.
Everyone, make sure the clicker is working. Okay, no problem. Oh yeah. So can I start?
Yeah.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Igor. I'm a co-founder of napilki.com. We built a cashless tipping platform that allows waiters at the restaurant to receive cashless tips directly from their customers and distribute them transparently. The problem is that waiters don't get enough of cashless tips because some of the restaurants don't even have an option to receive tips via terminal, and even if they do, the tips may never reach the waiter if the restaurant doesn't handle them correctly. And also there is pretty big piece of paperwork on the restaurant side in order to make that work according to the Polish tax law, and also the tips must be transferred to the waiters after the shift, which makes the process even more complex to execute correctly. And so the bottom line is that there is quite a few obstacles on the way of a tip to a waiter. So the solution that we propose is a simple QR code based solution. When a guest would come to a restaurant, they would scan a QR code, leave the tips, and then a waiter will be able to withdraw the tip directly to their bank account. And at the end of the year, we will file a tax report for them so that they are covered from the tax law perspective, which makes absolutely zero paperwork for the restaurant as well as for the waiter. So let's take a quick look at the target market in Poland. So we've got around 10,000 restaurants that have waiters and dine-in options. So therefore, they would love to get more tips. And now this is the right moment to do that because people tend to use a lot less cash. So rather sooner than later, the only option to leave tips at the restaurant will be a cashless option. So we will charge 2 zloty of commission for every transaction that a guest makes at the restaurant. And based on our research, we're going to have around 5 transactions a day per restaurant. And at this moment, we spoke to about 20 restaurants. We did our customer development, and we have at least one agreement to start with. So we're starting out with 1 restaurant on April 2023, and our plan is to grow up to 663 restaurants by the end of the year. We're going to acquire new restaurants by hiring salespeople, and one salesperson is expected to acquire around 15 restaurants a month. So this number is realistic because we don't have to sell our product to a business owner. It's enough that the waiters team starts using it on their own, which makes the sales process a lot easier. So if all of this executed correctly, we're going to have around 660 places, which will make $150,000 in revenue for the first year. And for the second year, we're going to grow up to 1,500 places and 1 million in revenue. So our competition on Polish market looks like following. We've got Tip and Global Tips. Tip is our major competitor. They have the biggest user base, and Global Tips, they're just starting out on the Polish market. They are a pretty popular solution in Lithuania. And the thing is that they don't handle the taxes for their waiters. And what we've learned from doing our customer development is that people and businesses are concerned about being tax law compliant. So we will implement this feature, and even though that we don't have this much of a user base at this moment, we've got 20 leads, and this feature, the handler of taxes, will help us to compete and even outrun our competitors on the market. Our our founding team consists of 3 people. Makari is our UI UX and front-end guy. Kirill takes care mostly of backend infrastructure, and payments and legal documents. And I have been working on the customer development, sales, and marketing. So with that being said, let's move over to the questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the jury? So I understand that the solutions kind of focus on Poland, yeah? And the question is like, did you check what countries have, for example, very similar structure, challenges, and how this product can be moved to some other markets as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of competitors on a bigger markets like Germany. So there are a big number of those, and the number is a lot bigger. But and also there are some challenges connected with the tax law, but they are trying to handle it. We just realized that in Poland it's not handled properly, and this is a good idea to start here because the market is pretty open. There is not a lot of competition, and that's why it just makes sense. And we obviously will expand further.
Yeah, for example, in a lot of countries, you could just tell, please add €5 or 5% in my amount, and you could pay by card. And what the difference between this approach without any QR codes and so on and here?
Yeah, this is the thing actually. If you leave your tips via terminal, if the money goes to the bank account of a firm, of a restaurant, and the restaurant has to document it correctly, has to handle has to distribute it among the team member, which is a payroll process. They're using some payroll software to do that, which they pay for, and they're using the accountant time to also do that. So there is quite a lot of work to do on their side.
Yeah, it's on the restaurant side, but for customer, for me as a customer, it's easier to just tell please add 5 or 10% than to scan QR code and so on.
Yeah, and also that's cool that you are this kind of guy who says, can I add €5 to this bill? But some people, and actually a lot of people, they're just hesitating to talk to other people, and they would rather scan a QR code and do the thing offline while waiter is not standing by your side watching and asking. They would ask you, how much would you like to leave? This is like kind of an awkward situation. You sometimes may just go higher in your tips because you don't want to come out as yeah, you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. And did you calculate the market size for this solution? Polish in dollar-wise and like European?
No, not so. I didn't do that. I didn't calculate it in dollars because those numbers didn't really make a lot of sense for us. So we needed numbers to make a decision to start working on this, and we figured out some numbers like how many transactions, how many people leave tips, what commission can we get, and how many money can we make. And as long as we understand that this is something profitable and we can calculate those numbers, they're just not really relevant, wasn't really relevant for us to start.
Sorry, one another question. Do you know any startups in the field, probably global, who raised some decent number of funding?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
Yeah, there are.
Can you give example?
I mean, I don't know their names, but there is. I actually yesterday was doing the research, some research additional, and I checked that some of them like got around 2 million of investment, and I wasn't checking every company, but some of them sponsored by Visa. I guess they got a lot more of investment. So I'm pretty sure that there are big numbers here.
And like how much you are raising right now in this case?
Well, we would like to raise, I guess, $100,000 to start with. So this would, well, actually, all these plans that we've got here, we will execute those without any funding, without self-funding, because we've got the team, we've got the resources. But we would love to get some small funding, like 100,000, to grow even faster. We would do it in a lot faster pace.
And what is the stage of the product right now? It's kind of, and how much time you need to finalize it, validate it?
We've started doing customer development like a month ago, but we already have the team, the build team. We worked on the different solutions that didn't work out well. So we are starting to acquire first restaurants in April. So like in a month, we're going to start already delivering.
And you said that you don't need to sell the solution to the restaurant. You don't need to sell the solution to staff. But what do you think the restaurant will think about that, like your waiters using some kind of third-party solution you don't have access to? So did you talk with restaurants about this?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, and there are some examples even here in Poland we talked to. Normally, restaurant owners they say that they don't care, and tips is anyway they don't get any income from the tips. So this is only the work additional that they have to do. So they don't care about what their waiters using to get the tips. If this is something that they're happy about, they would rather give the decision to them. And actually, in many other places that we talked to, they say, anyway, so your solution sounds pretty good, but we will need to talk to the waiters. If they want to use it, they will use it. So it's like impossible to sell only to the business owner. Probably they can force the staff to work with this solution.
One question from my side. What questions did you ask restaurants?
we asked them how much cashless tips they get, and what in comparison how this number was decreasing over time. We was asking them how do they handle their cashless tips that they get via terminal. So they were talking about the taxes, they were talking about the payrolls, they were talking about the difficulties. We also talked to the waiters, and they sometimes say that they don't get the tips left by a terminal, which is also connected with all this kind of work that we've done on the restaurant side.
Okay, then thank you very much, jury. Does anyone from the audience want to tip our speaker with a nice question? Okay.
I didn't really get the technical solution, so how does this QR code works? Do you connect with any payment services?
Yeah, sure. So a waiter would have like a plastic card with a QR code and an NFC, and then they would bring it to the table along with the bill at the end of the dining, and then a guest scans the QR code and opens the link. The link gets them to a website where they have like a simple option to leave the tips, pay by Apple Pay or Google Pay or whatever, Oblique, here in Poland, very popular. That's how. And then a waiter, they have like an application, would open the application, see how many tips they gathered, and they have an option to withdraw to their bank account.
One more question.
Yeah. So you mentioned you've done the research. I'm actually curious. Out of let's say in a year, a certain amount of transactions happens at the restaurant. So like, what is the percent of these transactions where people actually leave tips? Because tipping culture in different countries is different. In the US, it's super strong. It's like maybe 99%. In Poland, I personally have never left a tip, so I'm curious if you have the numbers. Like, what is the approximate percentage of people who leave tips, let's say, in some amount of transactions that happen per year?
Yeah, good idea. Actually, good question. I didn't find a good number like from the internet on what the percentage is for Poland, but I found the number for Germany. It is pretty high. It's 90%, and at least from what we've learned from talking to people, we learned that a lot of people leave tips. At least that's what waiters say. They say a lot of people leave tips. Most of them leave cash, and taking into account that cash is going to be no longer an option in a few years, they will need another solution.
Well, thank you very much. And the next startup is FeelQueen.
Раз.
Закрой курок. Sorry about that. Well, the floor is yours, 5 minutes.
Last presentation, I said 2 days ago.
That's a new one, updated after the pitching mentoring session, right?
After your feedback,
Yeah. Okay, let's give a warm round of applause.
Hello everyone, my name is Dima. I'm the founder and CEO of beauty tech startup FeelQueen. FeelQueen is an online beauty ecosystem which consists of a beauty services marketplace and a vertical SaaS platform for beauty salons and individual beauty professionals. Our goal is to bring together all beauty industry representatives and their clients in one user-friendly ecosystem to improve and simplify their everyday beauty activities. Any small business constantly needs a stream of customers. In beauty salons, the workplace is empty at 31% of the time. It's a lot of unearned money. In beauty industry, it's very important to return a client. Average beauty salon has lost 850 clients during its life cycle. For those who has a stable customer base, need a tool to automate it to prove their work with regular clients and salon employees. Nearly 55% of Europe beauty salons still don't use any digital tool or CRMs. In turn, every day, thousands of people spend time looking for the right beauty specialist, calling and texting in social networks to find out free time to book beauty services. But 90% of clients prefer to book online instead of calling. After the booking, clients get often lack of quality. More than 80% of beauty salons clients mark unpredictable quality as an issue. All these problems are solved with FeelQueen. FeelQueen Beauty Marketplace helps people to conveniently discover, book, and pay for beauty services like manicure, haircuts, massage nearby at any time, automatic reminders, cashback and discounts, free offers and beauty feed, and much more to make the experience of visiting the beauty services as comfortable as possible. For beauty businesses, FeelQueen increase brand awareness and online reach, attract new clients and retain them. A free built-in CRM system helps to automate work with regular clients. FeelQueen work on mobile, iOS, and Android all-in-one applications for clients, individual beauty professionals, beauty salon administrators, and employees who are working in salons. Also, clients' website and salon administrator web application. Global spas and beauty salons market is expected to reach nearly 200 billion at 2026, growing at CAGR of 6%. Now we are launching FeelQueen in the 11 billion UK market. There are nearly 50,000 beauty salons and more than 200,000 beauticians operating in the UK. Also, every person spends more than $200 early on beauty services. We launched FeelQueen in autumn 2019 on the Belarusian market and have more than 20,000 registered beauty partners and more than 150 appointments created through our platform and a positive unit economy. Due to the sanctions, we left Belarusian market free to use and focus on the international markets. Our main value and priority, a loyal, professional and friendly team consists of 11 persons. I have over 11 years of experience in IT and business. We have a strong co-founder and CTO, Vadim, with high both technical and soft skills, with whom we were working together on previous working place. Experienced advisors from Google and Tesla suite helps us in strategy, business, and product. As for our competitors, there are several rather big products as Treatwell and Fresher in the UK, StyleSeat and Booksy in the US, but there is still no world monopolies in this niche. We have strong competitive advantages. Both salons and individual beauticians support free marketplace listing and better commission terms for our partners. Schedule synchronization with external CRMs that doesn't block our partners to use only our product. All-in-one product for all user segments that fits much easier and cheaper to develop, support, promote, and advertise it. Money-saving opportunities for clients as cashback discounts and referral system. Our business model is based on charging a commission from beauty partners from clients we attract through a marketplace. 20% from the order amount for the first client appointment and 5% for all future appointments. Also in Q2 23, we are planning to start subscription for the paid version of CRM system. By the end of 2025, we're expected to have nearly 50,000 beauty partners, more than $3 million of revenue and business profitability in the UK. Also in parallel, we will start, enter and develop new markets. In autumn 2019, we raised $500 million of pre-seed investments. With their help, we incorporated the head company in London and the R&D center in Minsk, finalized the core of the product, found the premiere on the pilot market, prepared the product for the international expansion, and launched in the UK. Now we are raising a 100,000 bridge round via SAFE with a 30% discount as a part of the larger seed round followed in Q3, Q4. The object of the bridge round is to invest in marketing and growth in the UK. On this stage, we are focusing on fundraising, obtaining the critical mass of beauty partners, and stable cash flow in London. Also, in parallel, we continue to develop and improve FeelQueen from the product side. Thank you for your attention. I will be glad to share our vision during the break and answer your questions now.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the jury?
First of all, great presentation. I think the pitch deck is really nice.
And it's not the last two, but thank you.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, so you said that there is a couple of like big players on this market, and none of them are a real monopoly on the market. But why do you think that's so? Like you said that like half of beauty salons don't use any digital solution. But maybe there is a reason why they don't use it, and why do you think that we will solve this reason and make them use this solution?
The reason of this is a big market segmentation. There is no like big.
Let's say, what is the reason?
Market representative segmentation. There is no like big world known like beauty chains like McDonald's for a restaurant. It's rather small businesses. So it's divided in thousand different small beauty businesses. It's on one side, and on another side, why it's no world monopoly is because the limitation of our competitors is that or the sorry, can I drink the water? Sorry. When our competitor entered through a new salon, for example, they are asking, do you already use some digital tool? It's two possible questions, yes or no. If no, they can sell it to them. If yes, they say, sorry, we can't work with them. For our like main competitive advantages and go-to-market strategy is that we don't block our partners to use only our system, our platform, our CRM. We are synchronizing with the current platform CRM that use the salon use with our all main competitors on this market, on previous this market, and our go-to-market strategy is that we are going to sell like an alternative, easy-to-use advertising channel that you doesn't need to manually add something. You doesn't need to manually add your appointments, track them. We are automatically synchronize your schedule with your current CRM system, so we can go to each seller who doesn't use anything, who already use one of our competitors, and say, hey, let's start to work with as an alternative marketing channel, and then when they will see value from us, so we can continue negotiations to like provide a CRM to them too. So it's a short answer. So it's hard to take a big market size for each competitor on each market, and the big market segmentation of beauty partners make it difficult to like work with the most part of the market.
Don't you think that maybe there is no monopoly because there is no network effects and there is no point? Like
No, we have our own insights on our experience on these markets. We have our competitor insights from European markets, and what did it say? After attracting 5% of market beauty representatives in each category, for example, barbers or manicure masters, after 5%, the viral effects start to work very well, and the cost of acquisition of partners dramatically reduce. So need to inform 5% of the market about our products, and then it's much easier to grow up.
It's a bit kind of follow-up question to this, yeah? Because I mean, 5% is not small number in this case, and because like I think the big challenge around like marketplaces is that you have like two types of customers. You need to have like increase quite fast both of them kind of together, yeah. And of course, like if you were like the entry players that like the no one really existed, like that was kind of natural growth, but once there's some specific competition, that effect is kind of declining. So how actually you are going to work around that to get to this 5%?
Yes, as a marketplace, as each marketplace, we have a chicken and egg problem, and we are not the simple marketplace, we are SaaS-enabled marketplace. At the first stage, we are connecting with our beauty partners to connect them to the product. So we are going to both ways. Hey, we are a marketplace, we can provide you new clients, and hey, we have a SaaS for you, so you can automate your daily beauty routine with your regular clients. So it's like a two-in-one proposition to them. As we have a free marketplace listing, free built-in CRM, so we have a big conversion to a positive result with negotiation with our partners. It's on the first side. On the second side, we already have a rather big experience that we gave on our CIS market. We actively use it now in London market. On the first stage, we are focusing on expats from Slovenian masters from Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. There are thousands of these beauticians operating in UK, in London especially, and in that case, they have a problem with local products. It's no Russian localization, for example, is one of the reasons. Some other problems. So we are going to these partners with whom we're already working on current markets, whose experience in the beauty industry is much higher than experience of Europe and USA professionals, and whose expectations from the product is much higher than typical local London professional will expect from the beauty product. We already passed these problems on hard Belarusian and Russian markets. Moscow market is the hardest in the beauty industry, I can say, due to the reasons we left it. We closed Russian subsidiary, but now we have all this baggage, all this experience with us, with very competitive and difficult from the beauty side market as Russia is the highest level. So now we all have all this and transfer it to UK.
Do you have on-site guys in London?
Yes, sure. We have like an operational manager in London girl. We have my mentor advisor from Google is already in London based. Our company is registered in London. The director of our company is based in London. So I am with close connection with London, yes.
Yeah, basically my question not about your legal structure, but more about your sales process.
Business development.
Yeah, how do you attract?
Yes, as I said, on the first stage, we are focusing on the expats, Slovenian professionals in the beauty market. So we use our local Russian-speaking sales manager for it. But on the other side, we have a business development manager who are from UK and operate on this market research, customer development, etc.
Thank you, Jury. Thank you, Dmitry. Any questions from the audience? No questions from the audience?
Yes.
Thank you for your speech. So maybe the only question, there is a big part of these private entrepreneurs who work in beauty sphere, and you must mentioned beauty salons. So what is your target business? What businesses are your target ones? Yeah, is it for big salons mostly, or for private entrepreneurs as well?
Thank you. As I said, one of our competitive advantages is that we are working both with beauty salons and individual professionals, as not all our competitors do. On the first stage of our product, we have only individual beauty professional support because we are starting on the Belarusian market. It's a very big part of industry consists of self-employed beauty professionals in the Belarus. So we firstly work with them. Then when we have entered the Moscow market, the Moscow is a beauty salons market fully. It's the main part of the business. So we finalize our product for that part of the industry too. And then COVID was, and for beauty industry, it was time when a lot of salons was closed and a lot of professionals who were working in salons switching to move to work at home, and then they doesn't return to salons. So the part of the self-employed beauty professionals after the COVID is dramatically increased. So we see a big potential in this part of the market too. But the salons, for a long time they will exist. We see them on the streets, we see them on the Google Maps, so it's a part of market too. So we are focusing both on the two segments.
And one follow-up question, just why I ask, because those people who work as private entrepreneurs, they usually have a really tight schedule. They all the windows are busy, and they usually use Instagram as the main CRM. And what's the reason for them to use, let's say, your tool to share their money with you if they can use Instagram instead, and they will have all these people
Yes, they don't share their money with me. Instagram, they use, as you say, they use Instagram for messaging, for CRM, for appointment, etc. They spend time on that. Every professional spends nearly 40 minutes a day for these communications with their regular clients. We can, with our software, we can save these 40 minutes without any reducing in clients' comfortable, and other side, it's increasing of that. And if this master want to attract new clients from Instagram, they need to pay firstly for shows for an Instagram ad, and it's 50-50, or she will get a client or not. For us, she doesn't pay nothing for listing in marketplace, and she pay only when this client come to her and pay for this appointment, or only after that. They not share their revenue with us. Like, they share our reward for a new client with us. So it's a little bit another case. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dmitry. And we will have one more beauty tech, health tech startup. It's Amacare, and then we will have a 20 minutes.
Okay, can you hear me well? Okay, great. I'm another main founder who speaks very fast, and I also want to change with the industry, but a bit different way. But the major problem in the industry, as I see it, is it's enormous industry with very low penetration technology. And let's go into some details. I guess nobody will argue the fact that women spend a lot of money on beauty products, and what is curious is that roughly half of these products are not used in the end. And no wonder. I know from my own experience, it's very, very, very hard to find a beauty product that actually fits your goals. So on average, it takes 7 days and multiple touch points to buy or choose one beauty product. And we have, in the end, as you have seen before, the result is not so good. So we have a solution. Amacare is one-stop app for choosing and buying beauty products that is designed to streamline the whole process. Basically, we eliminate the guesswork from the process and allow users to buy products in a couple of minutes. We offer easy input and buzz recommendations and a large database of skincare products and ingredients. This is our big vision. Right now, we're a bit far from it, and we have a mobile app that allows users to take a picture of a beauty product and get all the information about it, like reviews, ingredients, and all other relevant data. User can also create and share collections with friends. Our main goal at this stage is to do technical depth in 3 key areas. First of all, we have already developed a recognition model. It's a best-in-class recognition model for beauty products, and we have 95% accuracy in testing environment. We already have a database of ingredients. Full database might be also the best in the world, and 300 products in our product database. And recently, we started working on our own proprietary recommendation tool. We understand that with this solution, we compete with a lot of players in the market, from beauty bloggers to large marketplaces. But unlike majority of them, we are not limited by our inventories, and we offer recommendations for free. Yes, I'm saying for free. The app is free, and it will continue to be free until we get critical mass of the users, as our idea to monetize this product with the marketplace model. And it will happen a bit later. As I mentioned before, this market is huge, and it's expected that it will grow additional $300 billion in the next 4 or 5 years. We plan to start our penetration in the market with 4 English-speaking countries. Altogether, they account for 25% of the whole global market, and there are more than 100 million potential users in just these 4 countries. I personally believe that this is the best time to enter in the market with such product because of number of different that dominate the market right now. First of all, the number of beauty brands is growing. Like every star has its own beauty brand, and now it's even more difficult to choose the right beauty product. Additionally, sales are shifting from offline to online, and user demand greater personalization and more naturalism. And we have some proofs of this in ourselves. So we launched this we made a soft launch like 5 weeks ago, even more, end of December, and we got around 5K users in a couple of weeks with small influencer campaigns in TikTok. And all in all, the cost of install for us was less than 20 cents. And we believe that our core advantage is a very strong technical team who has experience in startups and retail. We are particularly proud of the fact that the majority of our key roles are occupied by females, even in tech team, in data science and iOS development. And these people are actually using the product for themselves. And I use the product, and I have experience in retail, venture funds, and I was in a company of 40 people before I launched this product. And my co-founder, Vera, is experienced product manager in IT. We closed this round last fall. It was Angel's later round, and we used this money to create this prototype and create this technology. And right now we're planning to raise another round in spring. We plan to spend this money mainly on improving technology, launching Android version of the app, and continue our experiments with user acquisition and retention. And we're actually very proud of people who invested in us before, but I can talk a bit about how useful they are for everyone, so let's stick to the total questions.
Thank you, Andrei. Julie, you're welcome.
So you mentioned this critical mass. How long do you need, how much money do you need before you get to this critical mass?
Yes, we believe that it's actually will take us 2 rounds, this pre-seed round, and in the pre-seed round our goal is to get good understanding of what is our unit economics, and then we plan to scale during normal seed round, and later this mass we have. Why it's important? Because one of the core features of this app is recommendation. As we got it from the users, that basically, okay, you show us ingredients, you show us reviews, but we don't want this. We want just a simple number or simple answer. This is better. And this how we approach this problem is not from ingredients, yes, because there are a lot of different data. Is ingredient bad or good, and we don't know what is actually the right answer.
The data.
Yes, scientific data. Yes, one scientist says this, another says this, and we know who is right. We approach it from different perspectives. I would say like YouTube or Netflix, basically on lookalike. So we know this person, we know people similar to this particular user, and what is behind YouTube back. Because this mechanics with taking pictures allow us to get understanding on what the user is actually using. And what he's buying from different sources. So we have data, we have the understanding how to make this look alike, but we need at least 1 million active users to make it work properly.
And how do you get the data of what this person buys in different stores?
Actually, he or she speaks how use real user case. First of all, when user download the app, the first idea, okay, I need to understand, should I trust this app or no? And the user goes to the bathroom and takes pictures of what she has. And actually, if she likes the idea, we have people who have more than 100 products in their beauty bag. So they do this, and we see this from the pictures. But anyway, and we also add in some gamification mechanics, take all the pictures from your beauty bag and get something useful.
For example?
So like the first partnership we have with our startup, so they get free subscription to app. I guess most of you know this schema that can help you to identify if you have anything problems.
Could you please tell about stickiness and retention of your product? How often your client use your product?
Okay, yes. This is a good question, basically, because it's not the app you use every day. Yes, you don't buy the products every day. And with this, our core function is, let's say, it's Nintendo thing. Yes, we just take a picture of product. If the users use this function once a month, sometimes more, but it's something like about once a month. What we are doing right now, we adding extra features. Yes, so the user can use the app weekly or something like this. For example, collections. You can see collections from beauty bloggers, so you can make discovery of the products in our app. So for the retention, yes, we have only this data from December. Yes, the first users, they arrived in December. And we have around 20% of users who arrived in December using the app in January. So because it's monthly retention, yes, we don't have like foolproof data now, but we have more each month.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Says that killer features recommendation and like is it good to bad, like exactly for me. But the thing is that like Amazon and Sephora, they know much more about my behavior and my the behavior of people who do something like me. So why do you think that you will give better recommendations than Amazon or Sephora?
First of all, Sephora has only 13K products, it's like 13. And there are around 2 million products in the world in general. So they have, Sephora is great. Are you like Sephora?
Like I think like it's like 95% of all the people.
The market share of Sephora in the US is less than 10%. It's a very fragmented market. And Amazon goes the second. Amazon has 150K products. Yes, much more than Sephora, and they're in the second place. And they have also like less than 8% of the US market. The main problem with Sephora and Amazon, yes, they know that what you buy in their store, yes. But people, again, we see this from the photos. People don't buy everything in one place. You buy this cream in Sephora, and you buy something else in Amazon, and then you go to Yves Rocher or something like this, and you buy this. And they don't know what was bought in different stores. And we actually know. And when we talk to the guys from Sephora, actually the CTO of Sephora, COO of Sephora, the first thing he was asking us is about data. Guys, you have so much data, you can sell it a lot. We don't want to sell this data because we see a lot of legal issues. But this is why we're unique. This is why we better than them in all recommendations.
And once again, what data do you have?
So we have we know what is in user's beauty bag. Yes, first. Second, there is a part of skin test. Actually, just normal asking questions. What is your skin type? What are your skin goals? What are your favorite brands? What do you prefer? It's like right now it's like quite small. We have all these questions, but just to test if the users are willing to answer these questions. They are willing, and right now it's been further. So this data like from them.
So maybe I didn't catch it, but how do you know that someone bought the product?
Because we know it's like it's in his beauty bag. So you see from the pictures are different. Yes, but first of all, you see the picture and nobody asked, but I will tell you, it's not actually about using these apps in the store. Yes, the major case, and we hope the people will be using like this, and they're doing it. We can ask the audience, but a lot of women have print screens from TikTok or Instagram of beauty products. So basically, it's not that you go into the store, you saw something interesting in stock, you make a print screen, and instead of googling it later, you just upload to the app and you create some collections, etc. So, and you definitely see if this product was like a screenshot, if it was in the store, if it's the box, or yes, the majority of products, and it's actually a big problem for us right now. The majority of products from the store come in boxes. Yes, and from the buttons, like normal. And our database was initially built on products without boxes, so we get another step here.
And the question is on monetization. You mentioned that you will have an affiliate program.
It's like it's an idea how to check marketplace model before launching the marketplace. It's just easier to implement.
Okay, won't you face any like contradictory bias when you would not recommend the product to the person that is in your affiliate program?
Yes, it's a very, very important question for us. So because it's marketplace, you need to select the site. Yes, we want to be on the side of users. So basically, our idea is like, if you, so if you don't have the product, in our case, yes, we will lead this user to our competitor, and we're okay with that at this stage. We want the users to like us.
And so like did you like analyze what kind of range scale you need to get to this point when you can really think about this program? Yeah, what's number of users, number of products,
with affiliate model, yes, so we will launch it, I guess, by the end of the year, because it's very easy to implement. You have a lot of let's say companies that do it for you. So there are beauty affiliate model that already have Sephora, Untitled, and so on, all in their program. We just need to have one contract with them and use their software. So to test this is quite easy. What is difficult, yes, is to make this recommendation tool, and we need, again, set 1 million active users for that. Okay.
Monthly or day?
In general, during the whole period, in the day for them.
Okay, and we've got some time for a short question from the audience. Anyone? Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to ask about recommendation system. Could you quickly describe what factors are you going to include? How are you going to train this? Because users have different skin types, and someone will say it's a good product and it will not work for the other person.
I guess thanks for the question. There are maybe three main things. These two. First of all, it's a questionnaire. Yes, what is your skin type, what is your skin color, etc. Second is what is your in your user base. And third is data about users similar to you, what typically are trying to ask.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, very much.
Thank you.
And we will have a break, 20 minutes, and we'll meet in 5:50. And please, while you are leaving, grab some stickers for networking and write in your name, and Veronica will help you.
Для нетворкинга подходите, стикеры берите, потому что вы не знаете, как друг друга зовут. Пока что. Вот. Я буду вам их клеить. Кому клеить? Ну куда вы пошли? Ладно. Клеить привет. На лоб? Серьезно?
Я говорю, мы так часто ходим, что уже все знают, как нас зовут, наверное.
Ну, вдруг не все знают. Ой, я не написала, давайте напишу. Тебя. Мало места. Леша, и как тебе представить компанию?
Humans. Мы тут в коворкинге зарегистрированы.
Humans, ролл, сетё?
Нет, я же архитектор. Пока. Надо стартап уже выбрать себе какой-нибудь. И уже тогда инвестор.
Почему никто не подошел себе за стикер? Наверное, им не нужно, да? Видно, не так хорошо. Я столько времени потратила на эти наклейки.
Ну, такие необычные. Я на Кирилле зависел на плече. Больше повесил необычные. Привет. Как? Ничего, все в порядке, как у тебя? Ну, я нанял. Какие проблемы с этим стартапом? Люди не платят. Это стартапы, которые даже не жалею были. Разумается, может? Что? Не, сейчас чуть-чуть, я сейчас на фрозе, потому что я же как бы еще при искусственном преподе. И поэтому... Все тут почти, ну не все. Не, ну типа очень другая ситуация была.